Audio Jungle.
Shortage of personnel. I'm praying security operations in Nigeria. That is what the IGP is saying. Bystanders at newsstands on Flip TV, your number one newspaper review. Michael Adekunle is my name, and I'll be taking you on today's edition of Bystanders at newsstands. What do we have for you at the newsstand? The Vanguard newspaper with a very interesting headline. What's it saying? Insecurity. We are helpless. IGP cries out to Senate. We are helpless. IGP cries out to Senate. With a rider says shortage of funds, inadequate equipment, few personnel halting police efforts. That's what the IGP is saying. Senate drills him for 2.5 hours, promises support. NAF kills 20 bandits in Zamfara, destroys kingpins, calm. Federal government inaugurates committees on internal security, community policing. And let's move to another very sad story here. 5 years killed in fresh Kaduna Zamfara attacks. Government abducts missionary in Taraba. This is getting too much in Nigeria. I'm still talking about the issue of insurgencies, insecurity in Nigeria. Let's move up to the newspaper. Alleged certificate forgery. Adeleke docked on fresh charges. Gets 2 million naira bail. You know what's going on about Adeleke. Okay, investors jittery over cost of Nigeria's rising debt, says report. And let's move down the lane. Kanu Assembly approves life pension for Speaker, Deputy. On to the next one. Nigeria has over 1 million displaced children who don't know their parents, says the President, Muhammadu Buhari. I repeat, Nigeria has over 1 million displaced children who don't know their parents. And these are the stories we have on the Vanguard newspaper at the newsstands. Of course, you know, our reviewers are always on ground to speak. Let's hear their own opinion on today's edition of Bystanders at Newsstands. I'll be right back.
The reason why everybody votes our previous president out was because of insecurity. That time it was like maybe Boko Haram, only Boko Haram. But now, maybe it's like quadruple. Our problem is now quadruple. Insecurity problem has now become quadruple. See, before it was single, but now it was quadruple. Now we have Boko Haram. Before it was only Boko Haram. Now we have Boko Haram. We have S-men. We have bandits. We have people. We have governments. We don't know where they belong. Maybe they are Boko Haram, but they are governments. They go to people. They rape women. They kill people. They kidnap. And we have kidnappers. They are like, it's like quadruple now. You see. Now, white men said charity begins at home. Whatever you want to do, start from home. Messi, as a footballer, start from home. President, start from home. Now, if a state of our president is not secure, then where do you expect to be secure? If president's state is insecure, then where do you expect to be secure? So, I won't be surprised if Nigeria is not secure, because our president's state is not secure. And that's how show incompetent he is. You see, that shows as a leader, as a president. I remember when Jonathan was ruling. When Jonathan was ruling, Bayelsa was secure. When Obasanjo was ruling, people say Obasanjo was incompetent, but Ogun State was secure. When Babangida was ruling, Mina was secure. When Yar'Adua was ruling, Katsina was secure. This same Katsina that is no longer secure. People, when have a conversation with somebody from Katsina. When I hold a conversation with somebody that comes from Katsina, he said they were even afraid to go to farm. This is just too much. You see, this is just too much. But before the election, this is what Mr. President promised us. He promised us heaven and earth that he will do this, he will do that. But now, nothing has been done. All empty promises, all are kokamamis, all are fairy tales. So how long are we going to continue living this life? It is time for Nigeria to wake up. It is we masses that will fight for ourselves. It is we that will fight ourselves, not the government. The government are complacent with what is happening. Because if there is fuel scarcity, there is enough fuel for them. If there is a famine, there is enough food for them. So they don't know what is. There's no. If you are insecure, they have enough security. They have nothing to offer at all. They don't. It is when you are into a situation that you know how it is. Maybe it is bad or good. So they are not into the situation. It is the masses. It is the poor. I was born in the ghetto. I was born in the podunk. I was raised up in favela. So I know how ghetto life used to be.
Let's very quickly move to what we have here. Alleged certificate and forgery. Adeleke dunked on fresh charges. Gets 2 million bail. The issue of certificate forgery has been going on for some time now. What do you have to say?
All those situations are just political propaganda. I know this will come up. I know this will come up. It is part of the tyranny of our government. I know this will come on. I know that this will come on. Yes. When you are using, you want something by all means, you need to go extra mile. This is just an excuse. This Adeleke has been in this land for long. Maybe it's once a senator, if I'm not mistaken. So Adeleke family have been in politics for years. So, and this Adeleke has been in politics for years. So why is it now that they kept mentioning all this certificate issue or this issue?
After declaring the election.
So all this one are just political propaganda. It's a political propaganda. I've told you several times. It's a political propaganda, and it will move Nigeria forward. Someone who wants to make a better Nigeria must have one thing. He must not keep a sacred ram. If you want justice, then no one should be safe. Anybody who gets involved must be punished. But now, our president is keeping a sacred ram. It shouldn't be. Look at what happened in Ghana. Rolly kept no sacred ram. But in Nigeria, our president is fighting for a party, not for us. Our people are suffering day and night. Look at people here. Look at them here and there. Hustling, dying and suffering. But this is our own country. This is where we belong. We shouldn't live like a slave in our own country. If we live like this in our own country, then how are we going to live when we get to an SI or to diaspora, where we don't belong? We should be proud of being in Nigeria. But now, it is not so.
Thank you so much. We should be proud to be a Nigerian.
But it's where we belong.
It is where we belong. Still on Bystanders at Newsstand. Let's join another reviewer for more reviews. I'll be right back. And here is the Vanguard newspaper at the newsstands. This is what we're going to be treating today. Very captivating headline, but also sad. We are holding Vanguard here. Insecurity, we are helpless. IGP cries out to Senate. Oh, says shortage of funds, inadequate equipment, few personnel, halting police efforts. What do you have to say?
Well, first of all, let me start with the IG. The IG is not prepared for this job. He was not prepared for this job, and he has never been prepared for the job. He's a neophyte when it comes to policing a country like Nigeria. I mean a neophyte, because I can remember several people being retired because of him. And those people retired have more experience, and I think you need to consult them for him to work very well.
It is a consultant for him to work very well. We see evidence here that enough funds have not been made available for the police to fight insecurity in Nigeria. Don't you think the Senate are supposed to even provide this before the cry of the IGP?
Who are you funding? Who are you? Who are who? I mean, if you're funding somebody, you know I'm funding this person. Who are you funding? Is it that policeman that his salary is not paid regularly? Policing is the most expensive job in the civilized part of the world. Policing is as expensive as life itself. How much are you paying those policemen, for God's sake? I was somewhere in Edo State. I saw a policeman wearing slippers and holding a gun. It was just his t-shirt that made me to know that he's a policeman. So what do you mean? Who are you funding? The fund is going to the IG's pocket and the rest of them. So the police have never been funded in this country. So I don't want anybody to be sold by fund. What we need is experienced people. This man himself, the IG, is not ready for the job, has not been trained for the job. He's not the right person for the job. Police have been politicized. If you follow the rank and file, I don't think the IG should be here by now. By now it should be maybe AIG or Dereba. But now automatically it's the IG because of politics. I remember when it was in Kano State. I mean, I don't want to go there, but let us come back to reality. In the civilized crime, policing is a very expensive responsibility. Pay the policemen regularly. Don't bring somebody in because you want the person there. Let files and record. Let those who know the job go there. Don't bring in this man because the man is from Port Harcourt, or you bring this man because the man is from your state, or you bring this person because he's from Cat. No! Don't tribalize institutions like Nigeria Police. That's what is going on. Let the right person. Once upon a time, some people said Louis Edet House. If it were to be now, there would be nothing like Louis Edet House. It would have been Abubakar House. But now we have Louis. Now, unfortunately for them, we still have the Louis Edet House. That's the way it is. So let's have. If it is Okechukwu, let him be the IG. If it's Oyetola, let him be the IG. Let IG be by merit, not just pick somebody because you want him to be there and you put the person there. At the end of the day, that's the result. So our policemen are some of the best in the world. If a Nigerian policeman wants to do his job, if you pay him very well, give him life insurance, give him the right ammunition, send him to proper training all the time and whatever, you will see the best of a Nigerian man. Our policemen are very good. So let the IG himself consult those people they took away because of him, those his seniors. Let him bring them into the Police Service Commission. Let him bring them in. Let him seek advice from them. Those ones will tell him what it means to produce a country like Nigeria, the most populous black earth. I mean, the most popular black nation on earth. So, sorry, thank you.
Okay, on the issue of Adeleke, what do you have to say? 2 million bail. He gets a 2 million bail.
Politics.
We are helpless. IGP cries out to Senate. What do you have to say about it?
It's really the thing is saying is very fine because they need a lot of police to handle this case and this thing. And as this country is going forward now, we are moving forward. We are not backward again. We need everything to do in order to give them the weapons, everything to fight this, all this Boko Haram, whatever, all this kidnapper. It's too much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. The IGP needs adequate funds to police the nation as the rate of insecurity is getting out of hand. What is your own view on this?
Of course, before we can tackle the insecurity in the country, we must have whatever the case may be, manpower, so that people will be enlisted into to be a policeman, to be an law enforcement officers. Without it, nowhere we are going. Because as far as I'm looking and as I'm watching, According to one data that I come across, it said that a policeman for 300 person. Is it possible for one policeman to defend one person? One to 300 person. Is it possible? No, it's not so. But what I can say is that I don't usually blame the government, because why I cannot blame the government is that our people are so timid. They don't want to do certain job that they don't have. Likewise myself, in particular. I wish to be in the police in my early days, but the way I saw them behaving, power intoxicating, uniform, because of uniform harassing people, I don't like it. So that is why many people are running away from being a policeman. There is no sufficient discipline in our forces. In every forces, I can say, not in police alone. How the government is supposed to think about it and do mass recruitment.
Are they not supposed to provide these funds or these ammunitions before a whole IGP, cries out for such?
The only thing is that if there is ammunition, the ammunition cannot handle itself. People are not sufficient to handle this, and the ammunition that we have at hand is not enough. It's not even so sophisticated to what the bandits are taking along all about. That is the problem we have. Okay, you see somebody with let's say AK-47, and you see me with them gun. Well, what does that mean to do about it? That's it. Instead of using it to defend the country, we are using it to rob ourselves. So until okay, the government is supposed to think about it and find something to do about it. Yeah.
Okay. Adeleke has been granted a 2 million naira bail.
Yes, that is a court matter. I don't have any interest of talking about Adeleke or no Adeleke. I'm not a politician, but I'm a politician. You understand? If anybody made an offense, let him face the law.
He should face the penalty.
Yes, if he's lucky, he goes scot-free, the court granted him and exonerated him, or that is not guilty, good luck. If from there he made another thing there, good luck to him. That is my own.
Thank you so much. We are helpless. IGP cries out to Senate. Do you expect the IGP to cry out for funds before the full support of the Senate?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not what we are expecting. Because now, at least for the situation in the country now, I think the security should be the best priority for the government now. So for the IGP, for crying out they are helpless, that means there is something fishy to it, because we don't expect an IGP to be saying such things like that by this moment. By the time they are helpless. What are they doing before? Are they not be paying? How do they get the source? How do they get everything? Why is it now they are crying? What do you want the Senate to do for them? Which kind of help are they looking for from the Senate? Even the time when they are giving them anything that they not cry for the help, they are not still doing the best. Because you see a policeman, we are asking you, stopping cars, collecting money from anywhere. So by the time they refuse to give them, now, say it's just a loophole for the criminal now, because when there is not help from the government, there will be a problem, particularly to the security. Because the government, if they are not doing anything for them now, the policemen, they are not working again. So we got in this country now. It's something that we need the police. So we need them to be working perfect. It's not at the time that the government they are crying. It's not the time. Even this statement from the IG, it's not something that we're expecting from them now, because for the Nigeria now we don't even expect it from them. We don't expect it at all. Because what are they doing? Even before, when they are giving them funds, they are giving them everything, they are still collecting money, they are collecting bribe. So it's just like the government is just pushing them out to go and be collecting bribe from people when they are, because they will look for anywhere they can get money. So that's it. So and we need them. So I think the government, if any help they want from the government, I think it's good for the government. It's time for the government to provide it for them.
Well, do you think the IG is really working?
Let's see now, because they don't get an appointment. So let's see. We cannot even say anything about him now, because since when he has started working, I've not seen that, like he's not active like the other, even the former IG.
Because there have been a lot of talks outside that the man is not experienced.
Yes, it's true. What we realize now, because we don't know the way the qualification used to select their own this thing. Maybe from what I've seen, I don't think the mark is capable of doing anything. And even if there's anything, they also choose to say it out. It's not a public that you need to say that you need help from the government. Yes, it's not something that you need to, because from other countries now, seeing this thing that they will not say we are not serious in this country, where the Nigeria cannot even support the IG and their helpless. So, thank you so much for your
We are helpless. IGP cries out to Senate. Do you think this is making sense?
Well, we'll be talking on security issue. I think the National Assembly, they begin to awake to their responsibility, because it's affecting majority of them right now. So maybe that's why they are taking it serious. So IGP appeared before them yesterday, and a lot of things were said. But above all, what I can observe is that the IGP said they are going to recruit 10,000 personnel. But it's a welcome development. But at the same time, it's still not the last solution. Are you getting it? It's still not the last solution. What people have been saying that people are neglecting is what will solve the problem. I'm talking about the issue of restructuring, because by the time they restructure Nigeria and every community have their own local police, the vigilantes were empowered by the law to protect their community. Every street have their own police. So, and it's recognized by the law. They were armed, they were empowered, they were financed. So that is where we are going to be getting the security issue positively. Are you getting it? So, recruiting police personnel, well, it will just go a little bit, but it's not the total solution, to be sincere. So, because if Nigeria have 1 million police, so it's still not enough compared to the population of Nigeria of 200 million. But if you have a situation whereby every locality have their own security, financed, and they have the government is regulating their activities, and they were armed. So that is when we are going to have rest of mind. But because we have to borrow from the other country policing system. Are you getting it? So you can't just. This is a country whereby you just carry someone all the way from Borno, you transfer him to Lagos or her to Lagos. Where does she know in Lagos? The person cannot know every nook and crannies of Lagos. But an indigenous of Lagos, people that are familiar with environment of Lagos, if they are the police, so they will know, they will be able to man everywhere. If somebody that live in this area is a police of this area, he knows everywhere. All the hideouts in this Agege, the person will know. They know each other one-on-one. If a foreigner, they will know. If a stranger, they will know. That is the best way. But if they are not doing that part, the same thing will still be repeating itself.
Do you think this man is capable enough to handle security in this nation?
Well, he will try his best. The people that came before him, they have said heaven and earth. They have said they are going to turn around things, they are going to do that, they are going to do this, including the, discipline of the officer, bribe taking. So many IG have said a lot, but the same thing continue to repeat itself. So I don't see any magic is going to perform. Let's be sincere with ourselves. Or what I've said earlier is being done. Let's be realistic. So he's not going to perform special magic.
But don't you think police sector have been politicized in Nigeria?
Of course, it has been politicized. Politicizing is the sense that the governor of a state cannot command the commissioner of police. Commissioner of police have to take order from the IGP before you can take any move. So let's give an instance whereby we have a serious security issue, and you are saying you have not get order from above, and the criminal has caused a lot of havoc. So and you are still expecting order from somewhere. So the governor of a state, as chief security of that state, should have a total command over this commissioner of police. So why is he the chief security of the state? If you could remember, Governor Yari of Zamfara State said one time, some times ago, that he should not be referred to as a chief of security of the state, because he has no control over this over the police of the state. He has no control over the army. He has no control over any security apparatus. So why is he the chief security of the state? What is he going to? Who is? Well, of course, he cannot give command until, and in a situation whereby you are in an opposition party, your case will even be worse. Look at what happened in Benue. Look at what happened in River, where we have opposition parties. So the problem about this country is that they politicize everything. They politicize the life of the masses. So I don't just understand. I've said it earlier on this on this program sometimes ago, that until we see insecurity as a national problem, before we can solve this problem. But if you are seeing it as a problem of a ruling party or opposition party, that is opposition that is responsible for it, they are the one that is sponsoring this, that we are going nowhere. Let everybody come together and realize that this thing is a national issue. It's affecting everybody. See, I've said it some days ago when I read on daily newspaper every day about killing. In fact, it baffles my heart. I don't have family in the north, but woman blood is so precious. It's so precious.
Thank you so much. A very good thank you to you for watching us on today's edition of Bystanders at Newsstand. Special thanks to our viewers and viewers all across the globe. Michael Adekunle is my name. Behind the camera is Lateef Adebowale. Not forgetting my very good editor in the studio. I call him Big Bamo himself, Bamiche Alao. Till I join you on the same channel, the same platform. Keep staying cool. Bye.